What's up, guys? Ryan from I Teach Credit, and I wanted to talk real quickly about utilization. Somebody who was watching one of the videos had asked me a question about utilization, and he was asking me if it matters if one card has a high balance or not. And that's a great question, and the answer is yes. There are two components to credit card utilization. Number one is the overall, and then there's the individual. And here's why. Let's just say, for example, okay, let's just say all of these cards have a $1,000 limit, okay? If just one card is at 50%, let's just say this is your gas and groceries card. If one card is at 50% on the reporting date, that means you're going to get dinged. Here's the breakdown, 0 to 9%, you actually get points. This is good. If it's 9 to 30, it's basically equal. And it's 30 and higher, you actually get dinged. You're going to lose points. So if you have one card that's at 50%, you're going to get dinged, okay? For every additional card that you have, you're getting dinged. So what's the most important thing for you to do? For each card, you want to know the reporting date, okay? For your gas and your groceries card, that's the card you're probably going to use the most. Anytime, this is my simple recommendation, every 2 weeks, you pay that thing off to 0. Why 0? Because if you keep using the card, you're always going to show a little balance, and then when you get to the reporting date, it's still going to reflect a little balance. But what you should do is 2 days before the reporting date, pay that card down to 10 or 15 bucks. Okay, that way it's showing 1 to 3%, which is the absolute best, zone for you to maximize your credit score. Pay it down anywhere between, I would say, 10 to 15, maybe 20 bucks if you have a higher limit. Okay, and do that with each individual card. You can have an overall utilization of, let's just say, 9%. That is good. But if you have one card that's at 50, 60, 70%, I always use the story when I applied for a credit. I applied for what I thought was store credit or a line of credit through a store for furniture. They gave me a credit card, but the limit that they gave me was just above what I was actually borrowing for all the furniture. I was at 77%, and guess what? My score dropped because my utilization, even though my total utilization was 9%, that one card was 77%, my score dropped 25 points, okay? That's why it's so important for you to remember. When you have your gas and your grocery card, make sure you're keeping an eye on it. Your next card will be your dining card. The same thing. You shouldn't have as high a spending on this. Maybe you do. Again, you still want to keep an eye on it. Once you hit that 30% mark, it doesn't hurt. Pay that card off to 0, okay? Ideally, what you want is you want to have at least 2 or 3 cards with no balance on at all times, okay? Why? Because it shows you're less risky. You have more lines of credit, but you're not using them. These are like backups. That's a good sign, okay? I always say you shouldn't be using more than 50% of your cards or have balances on 50% of your cards at all. Use these cards once or twice a year so that they keep them open, okay? And make sure that if you have a travel card, if it's a high annual fee card, make sure you're getting the benefits and you're reaping the rewards from that card to justify the annual fee. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to have that card. But on these cards right here, what you want to make sure you're doing is constantly monitoring your limits and your utilization factor. If you have a high credit limit, you don't have to worry about it as much. If you have lower credit limits, and or especially in the beginning, make sure you're using those cards, and the second that you hit 30% utilization, pay that thing down to 0. Keep using the card, but at least this way, a couple things will happen. You'll never miss a payment, you'll never pay interest, and your utilization factor will stay nice and low, which is going to increase your credit score. All right? I hope that video was helpful. It's extremely important that you do have a big difference in utilization from the overall to the individual utilization. The magic number to have the best credit score is between 1 and 3%. That is the best. How do you keep that? You have multiple credit cards, which is going to help the overall, but then you keep monitoring each individual card so that the individual is also nice and low, because each one of those does matter. All right? Hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, put some comments below. If you found that helpful, please share that. Share that with your friends. Share that with your family. Share that with your clients. I'm just looking for all the love and support that I can get so that I can continue to do this and come up with more creative ideas to help educate people like you on credit. All right, hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.